What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back. So we're jumping in with some solo leveling Arise update information coming soon to us anyways. So let's take a look at this really quickly. I wanted to go over these with you guys at the very least. So this was what was announced basically. This is the solo leveling Arise team. It's already been 2 weeks since we started this journey. It's hard to believe that. I'm going to give you guys an overview of my count as well at the end of this video, so that way you can see where I'm at. I'm sorry I've been away, not making videos, had the family over for the weekend and had to do a lot of cooking. So let's jump in this. So they've got some new modes coming to us, and this looks like a wave defense mode. So first, we'd like to introduce the Battlefield of Chaos. New content that will bring excitement to our hunters is a defense type dungeon in which hunters must defeat randomly appearing bosses consecutively. This will be difficult content where hunters who are farming tier 10 encore missions or instance dungeons can challenge. So I don't know about you, but even with my score and where we've been at for 14 days, I'm not there yet. I don't know, like, to be honest with you, if they know that that this is intended for people who are at that tier 10 encore missions. I don't know why they released this so soon, because I don't think a lot of your free to play player base is there. And if I'm not there, then I'm going to guarantee the only people that are there are whales. Because I'm at like tier 7 or 8, I think it is right now. I think I'm at like tier 7 or 8. I'll take a look at this encore mission in a second here with you guys. They will offer differentiated battle experience unlike any existing content for hunters who have growth to a certain level. Dominate the battlefield of chaos and seize the strength of powerful gems. So that is also segueing into another type of event here, where they basically got the new content gems. So we put a lot of thought into presenting the battlefield chaos and offering appealing rewards to hunters. We felt that simple rewards such as gold and XP would not be enough to provide sufficient motivation to challenge the new content. They are revealing gem as a new reward and content for our hunters. Obtain various gems while playing Battlefield of Chaos and freely set the obtained gems to the newly added gem system slots. Equip gems and unlock the next level of gems to power up Sun Jing Wu and the other hunters and even shadows. So essentially what you're getting here is what we've seen in a lot of other games. And look, guys, I know there's a lot of excitement about this game, but what I've said this before ad nauseum in other videos. What we've basically got is a AAA game where they're setting the microtransaction bar for you. So you got to be careful with your wallet. I would generally say, like, at this point, what you're seeing is setting a standard in gaming, because if a mobile game is going to introduce to you concepts that you would get from a AAA game, a game that you would purchase on Steam for maybe $69, $70, and you would have the full capacity of that game, they're essentially selling you pieces of that game so that way you can then do those contents and microtransactioning them. If you do it now in the mobile game, what do you think other developers are going to see inside their games? They're going to then start trying to sell those things to you and start trying to put them behind battle passes, put them behind microtransactions, because they're going to be like, well, solo leveling Arise hit some epic milestone numbers in terms of like what it got out of the players for money, because they sold them little pieces, pieces, and they gated material, and they did this. And then they're going to try to implement those things inside your games. Whether that's you playing Devils May Cry, and so your skill tree system, because that's what the fuck this is, your skill tree system is now going to be gated and is going to be paywalled, and you're going to have to pay into it or to accelerate it and to just play the game as you want to continue in a path. It's going to be set behind. So I don't like this necessarily. I like the idea of adding the Battlefield of Chaos into the game, especially if you were just going to add gold and because guess what? Gold and XP is still a deficiency inside the game. Unless you're paying to play or you're whaling to play, getting XP and gold is very hard. It's very difficult. I mean, I've paid somewhat into the game in terms of what I evaluated my total time with the game to be, and, my enjoyment of it. But I'm still keeping it around that mark where it's like, hey, this is what is feasible to what I would pay for a game like this. But damned if I don't point out to you guys the slippery slope that you go on when you start seeing things like this, where it's a skill tree system. We've seen this skill tree in Assassin's Creed. We've seen this skill tree in a number of AAA games. And now they're going to put it behind as new content behind this battlefield of chaos that most players, probably 70% of players in the game, have not even reached tier 10 core encore missions or instant dungeons to basically chapter them. So you're not going to be able to play this content for a while. And what you're going to feel is this fear of missing out, because you're going to see whales who are at that level, or players who were there playing in the open, the Canada release, the limited release, who are at that 10 because they're there, and you're not going to be able to play this. So now you're creating a gap even more between those players and the current players. We saw this happen with like Marvel Future Revolution, for instance. You're creating a gap between those players. So the only benefit to this is that we haven't seen any PvP like effects basically in this game, where you're going to, your relevancy inside the game in terms of you're just playing against yourself, unless you're just watching content creator videos, and then you've got the fear of missing out. So that's the good thing. Just becomes something for you to achieve for over time. So, but beware. So we've got the gem system inside the skill tree, and then we got the official announcement here for Alicia Blanche. There was some releases for Alicia. Basically, she's going to be like the Cerberus clear queen. So you're going to basically be able to use her in So there's a leak over on the Reddits that you can go take a look at for Alicia. But essentially, Alicia is going to be another water type element that allows freezing. And the good thing about that is going to be that she's going to be used for Cerberus. So you're basically going to have her and Sayo as ways to clear top levels of Cerberus and basically do those. So you'll definitely want her at some point. Powerful freezing magic. Notice that. These are crucial aspects when we play. Bottom's ice flowers. So what did they jump into? Oh, so these are crucial aspects we plan to reveal by the end of May. We will also introduce various content that we're preparing with time to ensure its completeness and future quality. So let's take a look at these. So the guild, even when playing the same game, the experience immersion can be significantly different depending on the bond. We are all aware of this difference. So our target for the first grand update was development of a guild system. As the guild is considered important in the original story, we thought that the guild system our hunters encounter in the game must also be special. To achieve this, hunters who are joining a guild will be able to bond with each other and grow together, receiving various benefits based on their progress. So we normally see this inside like guild things. So this is a good thing to introduce to the game, because basically by joining a guild, it'll probably give you some passive buffs basically on being in the guild. And then as the guild ranks up, those passive buffs that will apply from being in that guild will apply to your account overall and your characters, which is a good thing. No complaints here. Definitely a good way to bring in that other element of the story as well. So they're also preparing new content called Worship of a Brilliant Light. That's the working title, to offer hunters another engaging gameplay experience. Workshop of Brilliant Light is a challenge type content where various bosses appear. You will encounter powerful bosses, but will also be able to weaken them through various methods and use methods to gain advantages in and I don't know how I feel about this one. Like, that's the same thing that just introduced. I mean, the gameplay looks good in terms of its like bosses with new. This game loves to emulate you like alien forest lava type that you just limit your space and your ability. At some point, it doesn't even about learning your dodge mechanics. You're going to have to DPS check so that way you can do damage in a position that can help you with. I love the Demon King firearm. That looks really cool. He looks awesome. Igris is still one of my favorite battles to play in the game. But okay, so not bad there in terms of what we see from the gameplay. I just wonder how that's going to be distinguished between the Battlefield of Chaos, which essentially from what you just told me, this is a dungeon defense where they randomly appear. And this one's going to be a set defense where they engage. You get what I'm saying? Like, it seems like the same kind of shit. Anyways, so their improvement in balance and details. Currently, as we move through early access and the official launch, we are disappointed to see that some hunters are not as favored as our development team intended. Development team has been continuously considering this issue and determining that providing the joy of diverse gameplay is crucial. Therefore, a performance adjustment will take place as below based on current usage and the performance results. This is actually great, and I applaud them for this 100%. So for instance, inside Marvel Future Fight, one of the things I've complained about with that game is essentially like the uniforms that are basically coming are just balances. Like they're just optimizations. Now, I don't want to shit on a VFX team because they do a great job of updating the visual animations inside of the kits. But a lot of what's just going on behind is just balance adjustments. Here, they're basically telling you they're going to give them to you for the free. Like I said, most games just give you those balance adjustments for free. So you see, like, for instance, characters are just not meeting the needs. So they're going to basically move them into position where they can be better. So you can see here, we got Bayak Yuhu. The overall damage will increase. That's good. And Damnation QTE will be adjusted to be easier hit when attacking at close range. Now you can use the Damnation skill without hesitation. Bayak is a great breaker type class, so like use him at your discretion. So like this would have been a reason for me to basically pull for him. I'd have loved to have done that. Wu Jinchul, consistency is the key to holding the surveillance team position. So this was great because they gave us Wu Jinchul and his gear piece for free. And we're getting an update to make him more useful inside the game. He's a win type character and one of the few win type characters you immediately get in the early game as well. So with the addition of super armor, when using skills, you can maintain your damage cycle without being canceled. Upon achieving the first advancement, the cooldown penalty will be eased, preventing any cooldown gaps for the meditation of power skill during 3-player tag play. The overall attack tempo will be increased, allowing faster hit and run attacks than before. So this should be good update for him as well. We got Silvermane Bayak Yunhu to prevent situations. I just don't like his kit. It's just boring, to be honest with you. Like it's not nothing. It's just a very simple kit, but his character is very simple. He's just ridiculously strength powered. In the manhwa, penalty poses a threat to survival in long-term battles. We aim to further enhance survivability in extreme conditions. During extreme attack beast form, the accuracy and rigidity of basic attacks will be improved, allowing for more overwhelming and relentless attacks. So here goes a little bit of the Bayak is like the key point here. Like for instance, if you're building Sun, part of the issue that arose when you were playing Sun or when you were reading the manhwa is even at some point inside of the manhwa, Sun realized investing all of his points into strength was not a good thing. And he had to diversify his investment because, hey, I want to be able to summon more shadows, then I need to put more into my intelligence. Hey, my MPs are running low, so I have potions to basically top off my MP, so that way I can go. I need to have more into this, more to that. So he even became a diversified character in terms of his growth. Here in the early stages of the game, we've only been 2 weeks in plus the early access. The problem is that no matter what you do, Sun's greatest hit is strength inside this game, and they haven't given us a reason to diversify in that way because the game has not been balanced even with your bosses in terms of how you're affecting things. You just threw floors lava at us, and basically it became DPS check, so everybody's only looking for the DPS check, as opposed to if you built out the game in terms of like making the battles not about the time and not about the floor is lava and just being a DPS check and being able to say like, maybe in this battle, because you're sending so many waves at me and you're sending so many enemies at me, I need more MP because I need to accelerate maybe or have this skill and intelligence be able to reduce the amount of time that it takes for me to summon a bunch of my army of shadows because I need them out more because I'm dealing with the wave of normal monsters. And you would then have a way or a means or a reason to diversify your builds. At current though, everything's a DPS check. It's a DPS check whether you jump inside the floor is lava. It's a DPS check whether you jump inside higher end content because they do AoE effects or shield break effects. So everything largely relies around just the attack. There are no mechanics in the game that will force you into saying to yourself, I need to build my Sun different. I need to have this ability to the stat so that way I have, more access to these skills or more access to these things. Everything just scales off his strength And so you have no way. And you're seeing that with some of the characters because you're essentially looking at the character come in, do his thing, and guess what? It's just about a DPS check. So like if I play a Silvermane Bayek, am I going to play him? Probably not. Even with this update, probably not. Libora, despite the recommended stats for our artifacts, including crit hit rate damage, the Phantom Foxes had individual crit hit rate damage stats. Now the Phantom Foxes will inherit some of Libora's stats, making them even more powerful than before. This is good. I've gotten a bunch of copies from her, and she's basically been a character I want to. The difficulty of using charge skills due to the absence of super armor before the impulsive revenge effect will be improved. As a result, Huang Dongsu will be able to execute more aggressive attacks than before. Overall, I hate the power-up attacks, to be perfectly honest. The power-up attacks, like even with Sun, when I was using like his almighty break effect, the problem that I have with them is that I'm stuck in place in a game that is like requiring me to be moving so damn much. Like it says like the super armor, I need the super armor on a lot of those skills because it's important, because I'll be charging a skill and then boom. Or the way they cancel out of skills. So like I'll use the water spray for instance attack, and I'll dodge out of that attack and I'll have to cancel it, but I don't get any effects of it because it just cancels completely. Lim Taigu, the inefficiency of benefits compared to the required operations due to the alternating uses of shoot and maneuver. Okay, they're just gonna increase his magic boost. I really don't know. Like to be honest with you, I probably still won't use his character. He barely struck the chord with me inside the manhwa. So the following hunters and weapons are also scheduled for adjustments with changes aimed at enhancing their balance compared to their current stats. Min Byung, Seju, Emma Laurent, like Emma is powerful as hell. Cha Hyen, she's powerful as hell too. Choi Jong-in, he needs to be more powerful. Like for real, he needs to be more powerful. To be honest with you, Emma to me outshines Choi. And it's not necessarily about like the way they built him in the game just doesn't work to me. He does a lot of posing. He does that traditional, like, you know, it's every character in manhwa that wears glasses, and you know, whether it was Ishida or whoever, he does that pose off shit that a lot of, you know, the characters do, and he does it in a game, and in a game where you cannot be static for a moment, especially at the higher levels, it just starts to falter off. And Emma has more movement and more abilities where she cancels out of them and still has the effect to go. So he needs more power, or he just needs better movement or something like that. Park, Byung Shik, Chong Shul, Jo Kwan. Okay, so basically everybody's getting updates. As for SSR weapons, which require a lot of time and effort to power up, they're not easy to use for hunters who prefer a relatively lighter gaming experience. To address this, we are preparing features such as evolving SR Sung Jin Woo weapons into higher grade weapons and crafting SR Hunter exclusive weapons. We will try to be careful and discreet as we can, as this will change the composition of the game that has already been launched. We hope that our sincere wish for many hunters enjoy the game. So this is important because when you look at this, what this is basically saying is like an SR weapon, for instance, like West Wind, which is powerful as hell already, is probably at the top of many people's lists. That weapon could end up becoming like an SSR weapon that could become more powerful than some of the SSR weapons that they're basically put inside the cash out for you. It's already powerful as hell. I've got it at 5 stars, and I've used it just at base level, and it was a pretty cool weapon. It's just not my thing, so we'll have to see where that goes. And then you can see here the conclusion. The Battlefield of Chaos, Jim, and new hunter Alicia Blanche are in the final stage of preparation and will be revealed to our hunters soon. We will also try hard to release the guild system and workshop of Brilliant Light as soon as possible. As it's in the early stages of service, we are receiving countless feedback on the main fucking improvements you guys can make is take away the goddamn load time. Especially for issues regarding hacking or abuse of the program, we take measures firmly in our hands. Thanks to the love sent from our hunters has reached 20 million downloads, which is epic. So they're also going to have a 20 million download 10-day check-in event. Let's check this out real quick. So this is going to be the 10-day check-in event. So automatically I'm triggered because I see 100,000 gold and a custom draw ticket. So that starts at 09. Wow, and goes to 859. So that's there already. So the check-in event has begun. And then you get Essence Stones time 500. Wow, that's nice and generous with a rare rune chest as well. Although every rare rune chest is just giving me fusion material. More gold, more custom draw tickets, more Essence Stone, more gold, more. So look at this, guys. This is amazing. Over 10 days, they're giving you 50 custom draw tickets. And they're giving you almost 500,000 gold. And they're going to give you, what is that? 25. I'm bad at math. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 2,500 Essence Stones as well. That's really good. These event rewards will be sent to your mailbox and stored for 7 days. Please note that it's difficult to provide assistance for rewards that have expired. So I did have some rewards that expired inside my mailbox. So let's take a look over here and see what we got. So there we go. Right off the bat. Check-in gifts to all solo leveling Arise hunters. Log into the game every day and receive gifts. And here goes my first 100,000 in my custom draw ticket. That is absolutely cool. Those now, especially like in this game, we're giving you like 5,000 gold, or like those are the rewards for like gates and stuff. That's good. That's really good. Matter of fact, let's go over here to the draw shop really quick, because I think I'm like on the verge of another break. Yep. So let's draw against that one, see what we get. Nothing. There we go. I need men. I really want men. Like I've been wanting men like it's nobody's business. Oh, 2 SSRs in that bastard. Demon Knight Spear, okay. So now it's like cool, because all of these weapons inside the game, if we're gonna be able to level them up, that's really cool. But they need to ease the restriction on the gold. Goddamn, I do not want this gun. I am not interested. I think this is the second one I've received, but I am not interested in that gun in the slightest.
Don't worry. I've got your back.
I got him! Finally! I'm happy.
Go nuts. You can count
Finally.
on me.
I've got him. I've got him. I'm happy. I'm happy. Happy as a pig and shit. Happy. Like, yup, I'm happy. I'm happy as hell. That's who I wanted. I wanted him for all of his abilities to basically put on a team to provide the support. At the later stages in the game, especially if you're not very skilled in some things, he can be very beneficial to just being on the team and providing some of the support capabilities. Basically light damage as well. Like, I am happy as hell. The question is whether I go for more of him now. To be perfectly honest, I need to keep digging into Emma and getting some more loads of Emma. Especially as she powers up. But I am happy as a pig and shit that I finally got him. I may switch over to Biok now that I know that he's getting his update as well, because I do want him as well. Happy as hell. So let's take a look into my account real quick, so that way you can see what some of my stats are for Sung Jin Woo and the team. So far, I've gotten a little bit lucky on being able to collect some of my weapons. So like, for instance, I've gotten a host of the weapons inside the game. You can see I've gotten 2 copies of Thetis, 1 copy of the Bloom and the Moonshadow. We obviously all got 2 copies of the Scythe. So really happy about that. But I've collected the majority of his SSR weapons, so I'm not too mad about that. His artifacts I've been somewhat lucky on. I've gotten 2 good pieces of equipment for his at level 55 for the Black Lion set. I'm still working on 2 additional pieces for the head and the feet. It's important to note that this does become a matter at some point. I know they're going to introduce a system in here for you to reroll stats and improve stats. It's coming, guys. These are just ways that they're just going to maximize profits on the game in order to do things. So if you look at these 2, these are pretty good stats in terms of me having stuff for Sung Jin Woo. Like even these right here in his top headsets aren't bad, but I need those to matriculate out. Whereas opposed to, like, if you looked at some of his gear stuff that he has for here, if I was to look at some of the artifacts that I had there are ones that I could conceivably use, but they're not necessarily good. So for instance, I could replace this 50 with the 55, but we're talking about I can increase this for defense, but damage reduction, MP consumption. Actually, this one's not bad. I probably should level this one up. Yeah, I probably should level that one up. It does become quite expensive to level a character up. When did I get this one? Because I thought this one had like healing or some shit like that on it. So as you level up, you'll notice that you'll get like a damage at 5, and then at 10, you'll see that you'll get increased effects. So the first increase effect that I got was to the damage increase, and then the second increase effect that I got was to additional HP. It's important to pay attention to those kind of things overall. So crazy enough that this is still saying that, okay, now it's saying that it's better. So we can see that the decrease on defense is going to happen here for the, but this is at 12, that's why. So is at 9.89, and then this one right here, I miss out on a lot of the attack, and that's where Sun Jinwoo is going to see those things. So I'm giving up in, so I'm giving up on attack in terms of this, which is overall boosting effects. I'm increasing the damage basically overall. I'm getting some additional HP, which is important, but I'm losing out on the main effect right here, which is attack, which is kind of bad overall. And I'm getting a damage reduction. So also to equip a weapon, I'm basically having to pay. I don't know why we have that inside the game where I've got to pay to unequip a weapon, but it's there. And then you see for the necklace and what you call, I haven't gotten any better items. In terms of hunters, I've unlocked quite a few hunters. So you can see my main team lineup here is Seo, Chai, and then Emma. I haven't gotten any additional copies of Emma. I would like to take Emma to at least 3 copies. Choi here, and then finally I got my boy Min. I'm really happy about that one. And then you're gonna start to notice, especially as you make your way into other game modes, that you're gonna need to basically unlock multiple characters, because you're gonna have sets where you need multiple teams in order to complete those chapter missions. So you're gonna have to have a secondary team inside here. This is one of the reasons why I also wanted Min and Black specifically for, you know, clearing chapter quests like this, which I expect is gonna happen more. On the story missions, I have made it to chapter 17 in the normal missions, which has unlocked the reverse campaign for me. If you haven't read the manhwa, then once you read the manhwa, you'll understand what the reverse mechanic is about and why that's there. I don't want to spoil anything right now for people who haven't read the manhwa, so I'm not going to say anything in this video because I haven't given you guys time to basically, you know, move away from that. In the hard chapters, I'm on chapter 8, so getting closer to unlocking the Rebel. I don't know why I haven't continued on with the story here. I don't know why I haven't continued on with the story here. I could probably complete chapter 8 and move on. I don't know why I haven't moved on with the story there. My overall team build and battle tier inside of the game, I am at 182,000 power. I could conceivably get up to 190. There's changes I can make. So Emma is my deficient hunter inside of here. She's only at 38,000 power, where you can notice that Cha and Seo are at like 48 and 47. I was specifically trying to work into these two because they help out the most with encore missions in terms of Cerberus and Arachnid. These two have the most power there. I think that I'm going to stop with Seo builds here, but I really wanted to get this next 4th one because of the increase here to her HP and her crit hit damage. So I was hoping for at least one more. And then you see the crit hit and crit skip damage right here increases by 32%. Obviously there's reason to go into that, but I could delay that with the introduction of Anna. Now when Anna comes out, I will still probably pull on Cha, I think, because I'm not using my essence stones. Because I am paying to play, I'm not using my essence stones to pull for characters. I'm using my essence stones to basically get additional runs at encore missions and things like that instead. Like I said, these are 1-to-1 values basically inside the game for your diamonds versus your so just be careful about how you're spending your money on those things in totality. Inside my gates, I am at gate level 20, basically being able to complete gate level 20. One of the things I really want them to work on is this system. If you notice here, I've got so many completed gates, but it's only utilizing one goddamn mining level, one miner to do a gate, instead of using all 4 of the miners that I have, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever to me. So I am receiving bonus rewards based on that. I'm hoping to get to level 11 for those. We'll see when I get to those. I don't know if I go into that. So my Army of Shadows is the place where I feel like I fucked up the most so far in the playthrough, because I spent to level up Egress to Elite before I unlocked my other skills. So I've been diligently working on gates at the A level and stuff to get these. So I'm about 5 shadows short of unlocking Kim Chul, which is what I'm going to do. And then we got the reveal, that Tusk and stuff like that. Like, we've got the reveal for other stuff in the game, so I'm looking forward to additional shadows being put into the game, because there were definitely other shadows that I really liked inside the series. I love the way they, you know, the portent is there to come. There are additional shadows inside of his army. There's one shadow in particular that I know everybody's looking forward to seeing, but I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I'm trying to remember not to spoil things for specific people, or you know, people who haven't read the manga. Go and read the goddamn manhwa. It's not even that long of a manhwa. Battlefield of Time, I'm not doing so hot in that one. We'll see what I get out of it, but I'm not doing so hot in that one. We'll have to see where it is. Like, my 232 time is not anything to like be like, hey, I got it. But it ends in about 12 hours, guys, so make sure you at least get a run to get some of the rewards inside of there. I haven't been able to complete Egress Thread yet. Just haven't been able to. Not exactly sure why, but he's at 242,000 power. I'm at 182, so I'm really fighting up the battle there to try to get him. Yeah, he's been a tough battle for me. He just hits me and just takes me down. But overall, my account's been doing pretty well. I've gotten pretty lucky on some things. I've started working in as a pay-to-play player on my armory to receive bonus from those as well. So there's a lot going on. I do intend to bring you guys more additional content for Solo Leveling Arise. I apologize about the delay that I basically had recently, because I had some real life stuff going on. And I hope you guys stick around for the content. Please do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, guys, peace.